Hello everyone, Venus here, and today we are talking about patch notes for patch 4.2. We're talking about Cafe, Zinj, and Kislev additions for those factions, so we won't be focusing on that anymore in this video. But yeah, I want to talk about a lot of changes that are in the patch because they are looking very good, and yeah, they will be actually changing your game and are a good addition. And overall, I would say this is like a actually good patch because the previous months was saying that Total War Warhammer 3 patches were very underwhelming, and this one is actually a good patch. So let's jump in. I won't be reading the preamble. The most important thing, we go up after the spotlight, so those new stuff that's being added, we talked about it, everyone will be able to check it ASAP. Yeah, let's move to actually first big changes. So we have a Bloom Twigs. The Bloom Twigs are very important because Bloom in Warhammer 3 was terrible, especially for factions like Khorne, because they had like a lot of fire VFX. They were quite terrible. So they're changing that, and I'm extremely happy about it because it's looking way better, more tamed, I will say, less cartoonish, so more in line of Total War Warhammer 2, that visual was the best in my opinion. So yeah, an example of Warhammer 2 faction, very good change. This is how it was, this is how it will be. So extremely good changes. There is also a change with corruption borders. That was a very big meme in the community for a long time, that the corruption is very blocky. So as you can see, it's like blocks just put there, and now it should be way more smooth. Yeah, it still could be going a bit more here, but still it's a good change. It's a very good visual change. And the thing that I'm very happy about is the shout out to modders. I will read this now. We wanted to give a shout out to our modding community who continue to unlock new experience for our players. In particular, we'd like to thank the following for their contributions to the experience, the overlap with content we are now supporting with patch 4.2. So, Gitmaster, Printed Baron in Inu, amazing mod, it's part of SFO. Lore of the Hacks, very big collaboration idea by HN, then so that we made this Lore of the Hacks, and Lore of the Hacks was reintroduced to several different mods after our permission, and it was all of those modders that also received the permission will also mentioned here. So very good, cool stuff that we are also mentioned. Yeah. Katarina Sled, so that in that Baron, I would say sadly that the mod version I like better. It's like cooler. Say Changebringers. I didn't know that there are such mod, but great that it is here. Golden Knight by also they didn't know that there is a mod, but great we have those mentions. And I hope this is like an opening for the CA, and modders will be more like mentioned as inspirations or overlaps in content, because that was the situation and the fact for many years of Total War Warhammer, but modders were almost never mentioned, even if their work was added one-to-one from mods. So things, yeah, there's some stability and performance, like quite normal. Let's face it. Yeah, it's good that things are being introduced. There was also one change that I was reading, but I think I went too fast here about the borders. No, it will be lower, okay, because there will be a big change in borders, which I'm happy about. Gameplay rules and systems, there are some small stuff like removing the trade effects from factions that doesn't have trade, from landmarks, fixes, stuff like that. Oh, and there's like so the borders for the factions will be way better for ownership and province and regions, depending on if you have an enemy or not bordering. Yeah, shows a large extreme border for the faction and a small internal border for provinces. Yeah, so for the faction it will be way better, because yeah, it was problematic sometimes, at least for me, because I'm colorblind, and it should be more more visible, like you even zoom out and you look on the borders, it should be just better. So I'm happy about it. And then we are moving to battle highlights, so the things that I don't think anyone was expecting, me included, and we have a change for the Rampage. So normally Rampage was working that when under 75% of health, a unit has a chance to get into the Rampage mode, and you lose control of it for 40 seconds. And that's how it was working if you had this attribute, and it was used in a lot of stuff, let's call it. But right now, if you have Rampage attribute, then you just lose a control of a unit. So this is quite interesting because it's constantly working as long as the unit has this attribute on themselves. And it means that many abilities need to be changed, to be staged, to give and take away Rampage, so we are not ending with constant Rampage on the units. I think it's a good change, but it will require tons of work, at least for SFO, because we use Rampage in several places. So it will be quite interesting, but good, they already made an abilities for this, so we just will need to put them here and there, and so on. We have a list of units that are getting it, quite natural. And there are also some small update for the Lizardmen. This is the thing that I like. This is the thing that was done for the Skaven ages ago. So means that several units are flagged right now. Flagged means that they can be like a set unit. Yeah, unit set, let's say it. Like, it was sneaky added to Bretonia, for example, that we have a peasant and knight unit, and it's not in terms of campaign, but in terms of battles, yeah, because in terms of modding, it was not possible to do that. We are making that ability affects only a certain amount of units or certain units. So it was possible thanks to those attributes that CE was adding, and they are doing the same right now with the Skinks and Croxigors, and they will be buffing them, buffing each other. Like Skinks will be gaining cost fear attribute, and Croxigors will be getting buff to weapon strength if they are near each other, so they will be using like an aura thing. In SFO we made something that the Skinks are removing Rampage from every unit, because that's how they were working in lore. So this is quite interesting that they are taking inspiration and going with even better idea, I think, and so on. We also have a new thing that calls Predator Fighter. It means that the unit will get a melee attack and speed increase whatever enemy foot was routing. So this is like a interesting thing that makes like the unit becomes more ferocious because someone is running from them, and very thematic, and it will be added to most Lizardmen units. Also, I like the idea. Sacred Duty and Eternal Duty. So Temple Guard will gain cost fear and immune to psychology attributes when standing next to Lord or Hero. So this is like an aura. I think it's fine. Doesn't fit SFO sadly because they already have those skills, the attributes. But the idea, and if it's not just an ability but like an attributes thing, and that, I think it's a great idea. So very good addition, very thematic for the Lizardmen, and so on. Solar Engine is making that units again around regaining vigor. We also had it for ages. It's one of the first aura I made for the Lizardmen in SFO, but still good they are adding because it was needed in vanilla. Next attribute that we have is Elemental, and this is quite straightforward. It's working like demonic or undead or construct, so unit doesn't rout. It's immune to fear and terror, and just when the leadership gets down, they get constant attrition damage, and they eventually die. Yeah. So same goes with the constructs. We're talking about for ages about that the community was that Terracotta should have it, and so on. And elemental stuff will be like Onyx Chrome and Elemental Beer, Incarnate Elemental of Beast. I like it way more than what we had previously, so that's a thing. We have also a new attribute again. There are a lot of new attributes, but they are very cool and can be thematically used for other factions later on. Glorious Charge made that the charge bonus. So when unit is charging, the charge bonus is added as their damage bonus. And it's for a period of time. I don't remember the exact number, but if you have this attribute, this time is doubled. So very good one. It's for Winged Lancers, Griffon Legion, Boris Ursons, Borsurson, the Golden Knight, etc. The imperishable riding chariot of the gods. So I like it. Very, very nice thing. And we have another attribute. It's immune to flanking. Units with attribute take no penalties with flanking. Simples. Very cool one. And the Bastiladons are getting it because, you know, they are tanky from all the sides. So it's very, very fitting. It can be also done for some foot legendary lords that will be benefiting from it. It would be nice, I think. Another one attribute, we have a lot of attributes, is revealed. So it means that as long as this unit have this attribute, they are permanently visible for the enemy on the battlefield. Very cool one. It's like a reveal. Yeah, silence. As long as you have this attribute, you cannot use abilities, active abilities or spells. So logs them. Very good against casters, things like that, and dampen will be getting the contact effect. So again, I like the idea. Those attributes are really interesting. They are giving tons of stuff for the modding, but for the base game also. And I just hope that they will be on more stuff, not only the new DLC stuff, because that's how sadly it's working. For example, the Glorious Charge is only for Kislev and etc. I think some other units would really benefit from it. With Silence, only Dampen is getting that. Very small amount of stuff in SFO have this in vanilla have this contact effect, and I think it could be utilized a bit more, especially for the factions that doesn't have casters or have problems against casters. Why? Because this is like a good example with factions that doesn't have fire damage, like for example the Greenskin doesn't have it, so they have problems against factions that regenerate health, and it could be utility a bit more. For example, in next SFO update, we are making that all poison type contact effects, and there are a lot of those in SFO, will be also lowering enemy healing capabilities, because we have such effects since the last update, yeah? And in vanilla, sadly, only one ability use it, and there should be more, so you can actually counter enemy healing if you're not having a fire damage. So that's just my 2 cents in this regard. Monscale fix, that was a funny thing, but was for very long with stuff and with games, and they will going to fix it, and no more giant mounts. It's small mounts because they were opposites. Races balance and fixes, some diplomacy, remove pile of bones, landmark, small stuff, nothing really to mention. Beastmen, Xanagors are more offensive, less defensive, and they are a bit cheaper. Incarnate Elemental, they will change from large to anti-infantry. Okay. And they are, of course, Elemental. Bretonia, no real changes here. Nothing for Chaos Dwarf. For the Dark Elves, we have a big change because Witch Elves had a very cool contact effect, Madness of Cain, that was giving Rampage to the enemies, and they are not giving the Rampage to the enemies, they are just giving poison, and they added the Witch Brew to the single use for each unit of Witch Elves. For me, I think this is a big nerf. This is a very fast change done by DCA, so this is one thing that I really don't like in this update. So we will be most likely looking on that and making the Witch Elves useful again, because this ability was really good. And they were giving a lot of utility to the Witch Elves as a support unit that you use, and unit cannot redraw as long as you're fighting Witch Elves. Grand Cafe, no changes for the Dwarfs really. Grand Cafe, there is a big change here that is coming, the technology change. The article saying that the Grand Cafe technology was weaker than the rest of the technologies. I cannot totally agree, because I think this is the best technology in game right now, in vanilla at least, and they changed it to go really crazy, but it starts like slowly. Upkeep for peasants were changed to -20 recruitment for peasants. That's fine, but Dragon's Emperor Blessing, the middle technology from upkeep, -5 upkeep, was changed to Lord's recruitment rank, Lords and Hero recruitment rank from 2 to +10. This is a middle technology, so if you are good, you can get it in like 34-50 turns. In vanilla, I think it's even sooner, and it right now in Vanilla it makes it one of the best technologies, if not the best technology for the factions overall. And again, I don't like this change. This is OP. This is not something that Cathay really needed. Cathay is a very strong faction, and making such a strong technology at the middle of technology, not the end, makes it very, very strong. Grace of Yang also plus 50% XP to all the characters. Extremely strong technology. Very, very, very strong technology. Even Warriors of Chaos doesn't have such strong technologies, and they are faction relying on XP gain. So yeah, speed bonus for the infantry changed from plus 5 plus 20 of faction wide. Wow. Very, very strong technology. It's extremely, like the Grand Cathay technology is extremely strong. Yeah, Yuan Bow is now starting with the Gate Master, the new hero. That's logical with the DLC. So, and Yuan Bow is a bit more offensive than defensive with the changes, and his Executioner attribute is now part of his item and not him as a base. So that's like a visual change, more or less, would say. In terms of stuff, the Celestial Guard is more expensive because he was extremely non-expensive, non-costly, cheap, and he's now, let's say, normal cost having, so that's fine. Yeah, Celestial General, Warhols, yeah, the same. They're a bit more damage. Magistrate is cheaper. Grace of Quan Jitsu, Telestian Dragon Bowman, so Regiments of the Renown of Celestial Dragon Crossbowmen is getting flaming attacks, so very cool change. Onyx, as I talked, they are getting Elemental and Yin. A bit stats changes, but nothing really groundbreaking. Jade Lions are constructs. Jade Lion lost contact effect flammable? Nah, this is a nerf. Oh, they have magical attacks instead. Okay. Jade Lion is getting dampened, so they can silence right now. So this is cool thing that we were talking. We have Terracotta Sentinels, not big changes. The Green Guardian. Yeah, so this is only the change with the construct stuff. War Drum is getting real skill buff on his aura, and Aurora version is getting cause fear on his, and the speed is removed. Okay, Greenskins. Not really a lot of stuff except the construct. I'm saying too much construct. High Elves, no real changes, I would say. Korn, no changes. Katarina and Kislev, some swaps for the ice characters in terms of the abilities. Big nerfs to Mother Ostankia, she was OP. Legend of Zaror made a nice video about her, like her soloing armies, because that's strong, how strong she were. And yeah, less ammunition, no ward save, less health, big nerfs, and that's fine. Ashkina Ambushers, the calibration distance is higher. Lowered. So they are getting a nerf in terms of their accuracy. They don't have a splash attacks anymore. Same goes for the ROR. Some changes to the Streltsy, nothing really important. Incarnates we talked about, and they are anti-infantry art now, not large. Things in the woods, more entities. Interesting thing is that the Eternal version that is being summoned is less entities, so half of the normal value, from 24 to 12. Cool change. I think making the rosters always interesting in terms of like summoning stuff is always cool. Griffon Legion, they are getting the Glorious Charge, so double the charge time. We talked about this. Nothing really big here from what I remember. We have the attribute Woodsman for Cossars. Yeah, this is a good thing. And do we have anything else? No, Leopards are being now recruited sooner, but being fully honest, I think Leopards need a big change. Not a good unit. Overall, not a good unit, and yeah. Krogar now is getting 1% strength per character rank, same as his Lords and Heroes of Saurus. Wow! change that people were asking for almost a year. Yeah, almost a year. That was a bug. It was one click, trust me, okay, but it's being done, which is great. We have new attributes added to Pterodon Riders and so on, so they have Woodsman. If they are landing, they have no problems. We have those skink attributes and Croxy Girl attributes, normal gut, stuff, those no abilities we were talking about, and so on. Yes. Okay, Norska, Chaos Frost Dragon, so this is the old name for the Frostworm, the new unit for Kislev, they just swap it. It's fine. No changes for Nurgle, no really changes for Skaven. Slanesh, Demon Slanesh got a buff, and contact effect Rampage changed to Charmed for the Exalted Demoness of Slanesh. Yeah, because of the Rampage changes. No changes for the Empire. For the Tomb Keys, Glorious Charge, and the Nahakara Warriors ROR are getting a very big damage buff. And Frostbite added. Zinch, we don't have a lot of those, from what I remember. Xanagors, we're talking about them more offensive than defensive right now as a unit, which is fine, I would say. Nothing really to stress about. Mutilation Beast, same as the Incarnate Elemental, is now anti-infantry and not large. Interesting change. We'll see if it was needed, being honest. So attributes added, Striders, things like that. Everyone that is on the disc is getting the Strider, so that's logical. What do we have here? Exalted Flamer of Zinch, calibration area, calibration distance. Oh, this is a cool thing, because Exalted Flames of Zinch, they explode less in their projectile, but they are now spawning moving flaming vortexes. This is very good change, because when the Changebringers were introduced, many people were saying like, what's the purpose of this unit, yeah? And now, because of the Exalted Flamers of Change and Burning Chariots of Zinch are being changed into more like they shoot in the place, and as long as the enemy is in the place, you are getting a lot of damage, then yeah, the use of the Changebringers is way better right now thanks to those changes. We shall see how much damage they are doing. Vampire Threat Army are getting some very nice attributes, so it's a bit better. Vampire counts, sadly no real changes. Warriors of Chaos, some fixes, no real big changes from what I see. Wood Elves, yeah, no real changes, some fixes. Unit abilities, we won't be going into those because of the Rampage changes. There are tons of changes. Because they had to change the durations of it and so on. And there are a lot of small stuff like that. Some fixes, UI stuff. There are still a lot of UI stuff that are dead in Warhammer 3, like the costs are not updating properly and so on. Things that were working in Warhammer 2. And I hope like the windows are not stretching, and I really hope that those will be fixed soonish. Okay. So, what I think about this update, I think this is a very good update and actually makes some big changes to the game. Sadly, some of those attributes that were added were really not used, like the Glorious Charge, Silenced, Revealed. I didn't saw anything that having revealed. Yeah, there's nothing have revealed. Yeah, it looks like that. Nothing uses the new attribute, so it's like a modder's resource, I will say, or for the next DLC. So we shall see how it ends. But overall, I think it's a good update. I will be making a video about which faction I think benefits the most from Shadows of Change overall as a faction, as a DLC. And yeah, of course, big SFO news, most likely this week, about the state of the mod work on the new update and when you can expect this being updated and working, because yeah, it will break SFO a lot, and when you can expect everything working again. don't expect good news. That's what I would say right now. But yeah, this will be end for this video. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to feed the YouTube algorithm with everything that you can do and interact with this video. And if you like our content, you can always support us on Patreon. The link is below. Have a nice day, and what can I say more? What do you think about this patch note? Because I'm being honest, really like them. I really like them. I think this is the good step in a good direction for creative assembly. I was Venris and I'm out. See you.